What would happen if the Earth went rogue? If Earth went rogue, it would mean that the Earth would have no sun to keep it in a somewhat constant orbit. Therefore, the planet would fly off in a linear pattern through space, without any outside warmth except for other astrological objects. Technically, our Earth moves, but only because of the Sun's gravity, and without the Sun, the Earth would simply orbit the galaxy on its own. Because we do have a star, we move around the Sun, which orbits around the Milky Way galaxy's center. However, if our star suddenly disappeared, we would not notice until about 8 minutes and 20 seconds have passed, because the sunlight that the sun emitted right before it disappeared would still reach us, and we would not feel any difference. To simplify light, if an alien was watching us from 65 million light years away, they would be able to observe the dinosaurs before their sudden extinction. Anyways, say that the sun disappeared, like I just mentioned, 8 minutes and 20 seconds will pass with sunlight. But what will happen after that? It is pretty complicated, but I will try to summarize it in this video. Firstly, it would look as if it was nighttime, and the moon would not be able to provide light. The reason for this is because the moon reflects light from the sun, which bounces onto the surface of our planet. Interestingly enough, astronomers would still see the surfaces of other planets lit by the remaining sunlight. That again was emitted by the sun before it mysteriously vanished. However, the surface of our planet would not be completely dimmed, because there would still be artificial light that we make using electricity. Speaking of electricity, after the sun miraculously vanishes, we could still make electricity from fossil fuels or nuclear power. Since the sun is gone, so is the outside warmth, and our luck begins to run out. Or does it? The Earth emits geothermal energy, which is a fancy word for heat that is emitted from the Earth's core. This heat in the Earth's core is the slow decay of radioactive particles. In other words, radioactive decay involves disintegration of natural radioactive elements inside of the Earth. For example, uranium, which is a radioactive element, is special because when it decays, thermal energy is present, and therefore heat is also present. But how does all of this help at all? It helps because organisms can migrate closer towards the Earth's center, which is about 5,200 degrees Celsius, to sustain warmth. Microorganisms such as bacteria in the ocean would be blanketed by a sheet of ice that would probably be miles in thickness. These organisms would not notice that the sun disappeared, mainly because they do not photosynthesize, and therefore do not regularly go to the surface of the ocean. Speaking of photosynthesis, photosynthetic organisms would die out because they are not able to make their own food, glucose, which will mean that herbivores would starve, which causes carnivores fight each other for food. In fact, the freezing temperatures will kill anything on the face of the Earth, except for organisms that can cope with such conditions. But it might not be that bad, because we could grow food using artificial light and feed the remaining carnivores underground. Without photosynthesis, photosynthetic organisms would also not be able to inhale carbon dioxide and exhale crucial oxygen. This would not be much of a problem, because we would not be able to breathe the entirety of the total oxygen in our Earth's atmosphere for thousands of years. This includes every organism on planet Earth collectively. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you next time. Bye.